So I've been doing this right out a year, and I get asked all the time, what tools do I use? Well, I think it's about time we do a video about it.
We'll load up all my stuff and we'll get to work and get the video started.
If you've seen my videos before, you know that a lot of times I'll post in the description box certain tools that I'm using to get a certain job done.
And if this is your first time here, my name is John Maxwell. I'm a highly trained unprofessional right here at Chattanooga Harley Davidson. And on this channel, I bring you guys to work with me. So if you want to learn more about Harley Davidson, you should hit the subscribe button right now. Today's video will be a little different than past videos in that I'm really just giving a toolbox tour of my roll cart. But I should probably clean up a little bit and it's time to go to work. So I'll get back with you in just probably at lunchtime or something. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a really long day though. Job number one, all these boxes on this wrecked police bike. All right. I always kind of set it up, you know, all the parts of the bike that are going to go up front versus in the rear, and that way I kind of know what order to do things. It really sucks to like replace the passing lamp and then realize you're supposed to be replacing the passing lamp bar because it has a tiny little scratch on it. Once I get all the boxes all like figured out where they go and what it is I'm doing, I usually just start pulling stuff off the bike. Here's a little tip for you with the shift linkage, because I'm going to take this rear one off to pull the primary cover. I'm going to put a little dot right here. Then I know where the opening for the lever is going to be. That way I can put it back exactly where it was, you know, before I took it off. But I'm going to use up all of my memory on this job because it's going to take like all day. So I'm going to show you guys the end result later. Alright, so I got it taken apart some more, but I got pulled off to do a service, so I'm no farther along. There's still more stuff to come off. Wrecks take forever, but I did get a new package today. Check this out. I got a new Cove commuter, Bluetooth speaker for, well, it's going to live on my roll cart. Let's see what's in it. Pretty nice packaging, actually. Woohoo! Indoor-outdoor Cove commuter. Let me see here. I don't know if it comes charged up, so I'm going to hook it up first while we talk tools. Get it charged up. Alright, so that's what we got. We got the speaker itself. We have a charging cable and a 3.5mm auxiliary cable. Alright, let's plug it up. Charging. So like I said, the thing I work out of the most is my roll cart. There are many like it, but this one is mine. So I got it set up just how I like it. It might not be how you want yours set up, but some features that I wanted in my roll cart was the lid had to stay up like this. That way I can attach all my wrenches. Things I use are very common, are very easily accessible. I needed a shelf because I do all sorts of stuff on there, store stuff, but I think I rebuilt a starter on it the other day. And a tray at the bottom. Here, I'll show you. So this is where I keep all of the chemicals and stuff that I use regularly. Some blocks of wood to hold up gas tanks and, you know, stuff that just doesn't really fit in a drawer. Now, as far as the top staying up, I knew that I wanted to magnetize all of my wrenches. I have a double set. Gear wrenches are ideal for lots of things. Hard to reach places, these ratchet make it super quick to get things out. Standard set of wrenches, I like combination wrenches, you know, closed end and open, not like the 1/2 inch and 9/16. Like that kind of combo where they're both open-ended, because when I'm holding on to something and using an impact, I want the closed end on the nut, not the open end. So it might slip off, damage paint. I actually just got a set of stubby wrenches. They're very, very useful. I don't know how I lived without them for so long. One thing I definitely want you guys to understand is that there's Allen keys, and then there's Allen bit sockets. Bit sockets are better than Allen keys for everything, just because the amount of leverage you can get on one, and you can attach this to a torque wrench and make sure you're doing the job the right way. One thing you need specifically for Harley Davidson motorcycles are Torx bits. They're the ones I get emailed all the time about, you know, the star bit that nobody knows what they're called. They're Torx, T-O-R-X, Torx bits. The one you need the most probably is a T27. It's probably the most commonly misused tool that I see. It's derby cover screws and your clutch perch and master cylinder perch on the handlebars. If you put a T25 in there, you're probably going to make a circle out of the bolt. So a lot of kits don't have a T27, so you might have to buy it separate from whatever Torx bit kit you find. Something to think about when you're shopping for what tools you want. I've talked before about my favorite tool being this cordless screwdriver. So I have a set of quick chucks that just very quickly slip in and out of there. Makes my job a lot easier. 1/4 inch drive socket, 3/8 drive sockets. That's all normal basic tools that you hear people talk about. You know, entry-level techs need basic tools. This is it. The top set of the top drawer. This isn't even a drawer, but you get the idea. Obviously you need pliers, regular pliers, needle nose pliers. I think the only thing I use needle nose pliers for is to like find the bolt that I dropped somewhere, you know, some hard to reach spot. Dikes, if you've watched any of my videos where I'm doing, you know, wire harness routing and stuff like that, zip ties, cutting old zip ties, cutting the extra off of new zip ties, that really bothers me when there's like, you know, that extra. Now, when you're first starting out, an adjustable wrench is absolutely, like, you cannot not have an adjustable wrench because you're probably on a budget of what you're willing to pay for tools. So you get an adjustable wrench and that'll make up for the fact that maybe you don't have all the right size sockets and wrenches and everything that you actually are gonna need later down the road. Snap ring pliers are definitely needed for your clutch lever, brake lever, foot pegs, transmission bearing. Lots of bearings have a snap ring holding them in place. There's tons of different sizes, small, medium, giant. Now, hammers, that's like the running joke. All you really need is a big hammer. Get a rubber one. Picks, they usually come in a kit. You use them for lots of things that you don't realize that you would need them for. Every toolbox needs a decent set of picks. I also have a really inexpensive set of bit sockets like this. Just fit in a ratcheting deal. When something's hard to reach, you've got to have something small to get there. This is my version. I think it was like $10 at Lowe's. It's made by Cobalt. It's awesome. Now we get into kind of the not so organized areas of my toolbox. The thing I probably use the most out of here is metric wrenches. That's one thing that makes working on Harleys kind of more expensive than some of the other brands. Like your metrics, they use metric sizes, sockets, wrenches, all your stuff's just metric. I'm not sure about the other like American made stuff, but Harley Davidson uses Japanese forks, brakes, lots of other countries make components. The starter motor, there's a lot of metric sizes and standard sizes, so you need different sets. But I think that's why I find a lot of rounded out stuff is people just tend to get used to using metric tools or something, or what. I don't really know why I find so many circular bolt heads, but either way, you need both metric and standard. I'm gonna finish up some work and then hopefully my speaker will charge up and we can check it out, and we'll keep going through the toolbox too. Alright, I know it doesn't look like I got much done today, but I did get the handlebars done. Got a new engine guard, which means I had to take the lights off and the siren and all that. Ooh. Hope you guys didn't actually want to see a wreck repair today, because I already did all that. But I think we left off on my middle drawer. I know it looks kind of messy, but this is all my electrical stuff. little scissors for cutting harness, spoke wrench, primary line tool, spark plug. It's all just stuff that I use often enough to keep it in my roll cart, but you know, it's all smaller things because there's a bigger drawer too. But my speaker finished charging. Let's check it out. All right, it's green now instead of red, which is perfecto because now I've got 8 hours of charge, which is ideal because that's a full work day. Well, it's a full day that I'm here. I don't know if I'll actually work the whole time, but so let's see if I can Bluetooth this thing. Ooh. I turn it on, it's like automatically looking on my phone instantly. Now it has a subwoofer right here in the bottom opposite the volume knob and everything. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna leave it on this. Oh yeah, it has like a spot to rest it, you know. It actually sounds pretty good. That subwoofer definitely tell. Now I don't know about like my mic picking it up and everything, but in person it sounds good. Hopefully it sounds good on your end, but that's all subjective to what you're listening on. It does work up to 30 feet away from my phone, which is perfect because, well, currently my setup was these goofy computer speakers that I had to plug into, but then I had to leave my phone sitting there and I'd like walk to get parts or something and wouldn't have it with me, which was lame. It also has a mic input, which means it works as a speaker phone. Let's try that little feature out.
John Maxwell.
Hey Travis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, cool. So, hey, do you want this new Bluetooth speaker?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you can't have this one, but you can go to the link in the description and get 65% off if you use the discount code JM65. And I just press the power button and it hangs up. Perfecto. And we're back to music. So I think part of why I'm really excited about the Bluetooth speaker is that shelf I talked about earlier. It can sit right there and I can roll all my essential tools from bench to bench, specifically the trike lift that's over here. And I don't have to listen to Sean's music anymore or Travis's silly cell phone playing weird stuff all the time. It'll actually hook up to any 4.1 Bluetooth tablet, phone, hell, my computer. So I'm excited about that for sure. That's part of why I wanted to show you all the roll cart though, is because even if you're at your house in your garage, it still might be nice to be able to roll your tools around the garage. You might roll out of the driveway to work on the car instead of the bike one day, all that good stuff. But I think we got more stuff anyway. I don't think I mentioned the side screwdriver holders, files, Phillips head, flathead, T27, T25 T-handles, because that's the most commonly used stuff. Every toolbox needs vice grips. You need a vice grip and you don't have one, well, there is no replacement. That's just all there is to it. You don't use them as pliers per se, but broken bolt that enough bolts is still showing, you can use those. Oil filter wrench, all held on by this nice extra magnet that I picked up for like 10 bucks. But onto the big Mac Daddy drawer. I mentioned before about needing metric and standard tools. Metric sockets that I rarely need. Allen bits in metric sizes. 5mm ball Allen is like all you need to take an entire V-rod apart. I'm pretty sure of it. Technically, these are my zip tie dikes. This is a rear axle nut wrench, 36mm. Torque wrenches, zip ties, rarely used Allen bits for forks, rear axles. Temp gun. Toot, toot. Oh, my batteries are dead. That's BS. My sure enough hammer for when things don't want to cooperate. This is the greatest air pressure gauge ever. If you're running an air compressor, high compressed air stuff. Dual valve, so you can check the pressure, add pressure by a full pull, remove air pressure by a half pull, and then no matter where the valve stem is, this is the bee's knees. I think that's pretty much, it's a pretty good rundown of what's in my roll cart and why I use a roll cart instead of my big box for everything. Maybe we'll do a big box tour later. It's tools that you need much less. This is kind of an extra basic tool set for the guys that always ask me, what basic tools do I need? Bit sockets, Torx bits, T27 specifically, open and closed in combination wrenches. The gear wrenches and stubby wrenches, that's kind of like the bonus if you wanted it. Power tools, that's like maybe if you want it. You don't have to have it. 1/2 inch drive, 3/8 drive, and 1/4 inch drive ratchets and sockets. It really kind of depends on how much and how deep you want to get into stuff as to which tools you need. In case you're curious, that's my Bluetooth speaker turning off. Don't want to kill the battery. I need it all day tomorrow, 8 hours. Whoop, whoop. Swivel extensions. They'll help you get in some tight spaces. I get asked a lot about, you know, how do you get to such and such bolt? Well, extensions, swivels, you know, through time and experience and practice, you kind of figure out what combination of things to use, but you don't know what combination works unless you own it. You can usually find like just the swivel extension set and a 1/2 inch, 3/8 drive and 1/4 inch set all by themselves. They generally don't come in like your basic toolkit. Torque wrenches are a must, but the most important tool if you're working on your own motorcycle is by far a service manual. I'm very fortunate to have all of the manuals of every year and model available to me right here in the shop, but you guys would only need, you know, what you work on. So like the model that you work on, the model that you own. I think that's pretty much it for this week. If you have any questions about specific tools or what, you know, just let me know down in the comments. If I left anything out, I'm sure you guys will let me know. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big dirty thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, tap the bell notification so you know when I upload, and don't forget to check out that description box for the discount code on the Cove commuter speaker. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.